Greetings, everybody. Let's go ahead and do a quick energy update on your love interest. Okay, let's go. I'm going to start off using the Neon Oracle, Neon Love Oracle deck. Spirit, tell us what we need to know about this particular love connection. Okay. Secrets. The song I just heard was I always feel like somebody's watching me. So even if they're not talking to you, you bet your ass they're watching. They got their eye on you. That's kind of the secret that they're keeping right now, that they're not telling you, is that they are a secret admirer. Oh my God, why are you so obsessed with me? Right? They like, I know you don't feel it. I know that some of you are like questioning. You might be like, Dr. V, are you for real about this? Yes, I am. What they're keeping, they're hiding that, they're holding it back, that they are like secretly kind of obsessed with you. But they're not coming forward just yet. So let me go ahead and pull some tarot cards. This one's going to be more of a fast reading today, but I just want to get into this because I don't know, I've been feeling the pull to do more readings, as you've probably heard me say in my last few. And so I'm not going to probably do like 20 or 30-minute readings every day, but I'd like to do at least, a few minutes, get the messages out there, because we're so close, y'all. We're so close to like getting where we've always wanted to be, in union and connection with Mr. Lava. So, yeah, let's do it. All right, tarot cards, tell us what we need to know about this obsessed card. That reminds me of Nikki. I think it's Nikki Tutorials makeup, when she does like something like a makeup that she really likes. She ends her videos with like obsessed, and that's what this person is. They're watching you for sure. They're watching you. They're observing. They're taking notes, and maybe some of it is mostly on social media, but they're definitely looking. All right, we got Queen of Pentacles, Page of Pentacles, and the Three of Cups. Oh, okay. So the Page of we'll start with the Queen of Pentacles, and this is the overall tarot energy as the Queen of Pentacles. They see you as like the it girl. You're abundant, you're prosperous, you're ruling your own kingdom, you've got your shit going on, you got it together, you're good to go. They actually feel like a little bit inadequate next to you. That's what that Page of Pentacles is that they feel like they're a little bit behind you in terms of development and where you are in life and what's going on. So there's a certain energy of them feeling like, would she even like me? Would this person even like me? Because like she's so far ahead. She's got her shit together. She's doing this like amazing stuff and has amazing work and has the, all of this. And they feel like they haven't quite caught up to you yet. And that's not really real. It's just that their own fear of inadequacy. They're dealing with some fears about that right now, which is why they're kind of withholding and not telling you like how into you they really are. But they are making plans to come forward. They're just trying to figure it out. They're trying to figure out like the right timing and the right circumstance, because they don't quite know what to do or how to approach this. So they're kind of planning it and thinking about it because they want it to be perfect. They don't want it to be like a situation where they feel like they don't want to mess up, first of all. And they don't want to feel like they come towards you and then you're like, what? No, as if, and then they're embarrassed or something. So that's definitely, but the Three of Cups is like joy and celebration. Like they want that. Like they definitely see that there's a possibility and a potential for you, the two of you, to have like a really great connection and to find that joy and celebration. The three also suggests third party. They may be dealing with like an ex or something like that is really impacting their ability to come forward, or maybe they're wrapping up something. They had a recent breakup. There's something along those lines that's also coming through, that they're still resolving the past. So let's look at how they feel about you. That's interesting, because we have the first, like the Five of Pentacles, and they have a fear of abandonment. That's really kind of the core of this, is that they are afraid to come forward because they're afraid that they're afraid to get hurt. They're afraid that you would like reject them and leave them out in the cold, because they think of you as like so much more advanced. You know, it's like that movie Hitch. Remember when what was her name? The model Allegra Cole, and the guy that was played by the mall cop guy, Kevin James, I think is his name. I don't remember what his name was in the movie, but anyway, he was like this, like, you know, kind of dorky, short, chunky guy, and he had to crush on this model, and it was like, no way, there's no way this can happen. And she ended up really liking him, but you would never have picked them and put them together, right? That's kind of how this person feels. They feel like that guy, and they feel like you're like the, you know, famous supermodel that everybody is like, you know, cover of Vogue and whatever. And so they're afraid of being rejected, and they're like you'd be like, as if like I would never date somebody that's in, you know, whatever. So that's a huge piece of it. But you also make them feel so alive and so like hopeful, and they have so much like affection for you. I really feel like if they just like popped the cork on their affection and on the way that they feel about you, it would be like off the charts. It would be like an instant overflow of love. Like, this is a person who's gonna, once they finally let themselves fall, they're gonna fall fucking hard. It's gonna be like, you know, boot up in days. Like, we never even had to have a define the relationship conversation, because I knew that this was my person. Right now, they're kind of in between, right? They've left the shoreline that they used to be on, and they're heading toward the opposite shoreline, which is you. And they're kind of in between. They're in this mysterious liminal space where they're not, again, who they used to be or where they used to be. They're not quite where they are, but they want you to know they're on their way. They're like coming for you. So what actions are they likely to take in the next week or so? Strength. They're gonna, as the kids say it, they're gonna nut up. And this came out in reverse, but you know, I don't really read reversals, and I'll explain it in a minute why. But I think that's important. The action that they're about to take is strength. They're about to get, this is self-mastery. They're gonna, you know, muster up some courage to reach out, to connect, because they understand that shit's not gonna happen if they don't. Like, because you're certainly not going to reach out to that. You're certainly not going to be the one that's like, hey, what's up? That's just not going to happen. And they're figuring that out. So they're going to have to, like, again, be courageous, be brave, be willing to take that, you know, to shoot their shot, risk getting rejected, because on the other hand, on the other side of that could be everything that they always wanted. They just have to be willing to take that risk. And they're mustering up the courage to do that right now. Because the world is like, you know, the action is like they're bringing the cycle to an end. The world is about ending a cycle, starting something new. This week is going to be big for them. There's some kind of transformational energy that's happening. Things are shifting, and they're really going to be moving in a really powerful way. And then we have this card. As I mentioned, it came out in the reverse, and I don't really read reversals, simply because I believe that tarot is like all human behavior, all human existence, which is that all behavior is on a continuum. So it's not like as black and white as reversed and upright would make it seem. So when you read it in reverse, it's like they've stopped the indecision and they've moved forward. What I'm seeing here is that the actions are that they have been indecisive. They have been hesitant to come forward. They've had this kind of limitation. And because this came out in the reverse, what it's telling me is that that energy is transforming. they're going to get out of the stalemate energy, and they're going to start taking some steps because they really understand on a core level that you're not about to wait for them. So what should you do? I love that. Wow. All right, so the first thing is like, keep playing your cards close to your chest. Make your mantra this week, I don't chase, I attract. I don't chase, I attract, right? Really make it like you're going to play your cards close to the chest, that you're not going to withhold, you're not playing games, but you're not pursuing. You're not going to chase, you're just going to be receptive. That's your energy. You're the what is that Avril Lavigne song? Which is like, hell yeah, I'm the motherfucking princess. Like, you're the princess. You're the prize. They're also a prize. I don't want to diminish that, but you are not going to pursue. You're not going to chase. You're going to stay balanced, right? Temperance. You're going to stay focused. You're going to stay doing exactly what the fuck you're supposed to be doing, and you're going to focus on your manifestations, right? So you focus on what feels good. You focus on how you want your life to be. You don't focus on any of this other nonsense. You focus on you. You build your castle. You build what you're doing, and manifest the shit out of what you want in this life. Okay, because you can. Like, if you haven't written it down, if you don't have like a manifestation journal or notebook, I strongly encourage that you start working with one, and that you start being very diligent about it, especially about this relationship, because the universe, they keep telling me like, you need to relentlessly participate with the manifestation of your blessings. You need to relentlessly participate in the manifestation of your blessings. What that means is that constantly being on the lookout for, how do I feel? Am I in the right headspace? Am I doing the thing that I need to do to make sure that I'm getting, what I want? It's really important that you do that. And that you stay connected to this energy, that you stay connected to your manifestation power, right? As on earth as it is in heaven. You can call down heavenly things into your earthly experience. You just have to be diligent and focus on that. And stay balanced. The Temperance card is about recognizing when and if you go into where your energy is out of whack, where you're too much of one thing or not enough of another thing. Being really conscious about that is going to be very important for you in this phase of life. It's going to be very, very important, because if you're intemperate, then you're out of balance. And for this type of connection that's going to come and knock you off your feet, you need to be really balanced. You need to be able to stay stable in whatever comes. I'm thinking about that movie Eat, Pray, Love right now, where the character Liz Gilbert goes to Bali, and she meets Ketut, who's the spiritual teacher, and he tells her, he gives her a vision of like having 3 or having 4 legs like a table, and to be really, really stable. That's what this is about. It's like being really, get very, very stable as much as you possibly can, so that you can maintain this connection in a really good way. And the outcome for this week, we've got the Empress, abundance, so many major arcanas. Holy cow, this is going to be a huge week. We've got the Hanged Man. So we've got abundance here. There's some kind of abundance that's coming in, and this could be related to the relationship. It could be them finally reaching out, and you feel like, damn, finally I'm like feeling abundant and feeling the overflow. There's a lot of fertile ground. So definitely sow your manifestation seeds, burn your candles, do your rituals, say your prayers, do all of that, because this is a really rich soil for manifestation. The Hanged Man, a lot of people consider this like a pause. I don't see it so much as a pause as like looking at it from a different perspective. And so there's some perspective shifts that are going to happen this week. There are some things that are going to change how you perceive them, how they perceive you, how you perceive the waiting time before the thing comes to pass. All of that kind of, there's going to some kind of paradigm shift that's happening. And this is interesting because this is a card that clearly depicts like grief. there's going to be some ending of grief. Like, I don't know about y'all, but I've been feeling a lot of intense emotions. Lately this week, I've been feeling a lot. And I was like at a mystical marketplace on Sunday with some of my close girlfriends. And one of my friends asked me a question, and it was just like so much kindness and compassion in her eyes that I literally just got tearful, and I didn't even know why. I was like, I don't know why I'm crying right now, but I just am crying. And it was like, then we talked a little bit about some of the things that we've all been through in the last couple of months. Like, my ex-mother-in-law passed away, and I've had to deal with, like, issues with my children's father and his current wife, and just gross stuff, a lot of transition, a lot of pain. And I think that that's kind of what this is that sometimes we have pain and grief that bubbles up out of nowhere, and we're like, why? I thought I was okay, I thought I was doing fine, and then boom, here it is again. And that may be happening for your person too, like where there's just little waves and bubbles of grief that pop up, and you're like, oh, not this again, right? And that's really how it's feeling, is that there's some grief that will be presenting itself to be resolved. It's not a bad thing, right? A lot of times people try to avoid grief because it's sad, it's painful. But when I was writing my dissertation forever years ago, I wrote this part that was like, it was a quote, and I cannot remember who it was, but it's, grief is the price that we pay for love, right? So when you feel that sadness or that grief that comes up, like, the thing to remember is that how lucky we are to have the opportunity to care about something or someone enough that we're sad when it's over, right? It's a gift. It's a blessing to be able to have loved somebody or something so much that you're sad when it leaves. So I feel like this is going to be a really powerful week. I wouldn't be at all surprised if you hear from this person, even if it's just like a simple communication, like a, comment on a Facebook post or on an Instagram or TikTok, like a light text. But I feel like they're going to probably reach out to you, or indicate like, hey, I'm still alive, I'm not ignoring you in some way this week. And in the meantime, I really want to encourage you to look at things differently, right? A lot of times people, especially on these readings, will be like, they never call and they never do this. And sometimes people can get really like negative in the comment section. And that's really indicative of like something that to work on in yourself, right? That it's like, instead of looking at things this way, what if we looked at it in a different way and told ourselves a different story about the thing, right? It's not delusional. It's just recognizing that we have the power to decide how we want to look at things and how we want to, the stories we want to tell about them. So anyway, this is going to be an interesting week. Stay prayed up, do your manifestations, do your rituals, burn some candles, and really get intentional about bringing this love that you crave into your world, because it's ready, it's there, it's time. And ask Spirit for some help. Spirit can help you give them a little nudge to get the show on the road, and let's get this party started. All right, y'all, talk to you soon. Bye.